Pause this video, go get yourself laced up, hydrate, do what you need to do, and join me back here for a walk. It's only 57 degrees out today. We had to get a sweatshirt on. Okay, I'm hoping that I have my camera figured out today because let's face it, nobody wants to watch a skinny little frame for a video. It's hard to see. I'm hoping that I figured that out today and it's a better view. We shall see. Today's trash pickup day, so it might be a little bit crazy out in these streets today, but here we go. Also, it's very cool out. Surprisingly cool. I was shocked when I came outside this morning about that, but it sure makes it a pleasure to walk. Got my cozy sweatshirt on, and we'll see what we find today. You guys will have to let me know. Do you think that this tree is happy to see me every time that I see it? Look how it moves at the end here. Figured we'd walk somewhere different today. Get a little different view. So I came across the street to the park. There's a lot of noise because there's some road work happening right behind us pretty much. Oh, that is so beautiful. See if we can hear some birds. So we're in the park, but we still have to hear all that sound, all those sounds. That's okay, I guess. I just realized my camera had changed aspects, so every time I pause the video, I have to then go and change the aspect again before resuming. Wow. I will do my best to remember that. Learning here, you know, I'm not waiting for perfection to start something anymore. I wanted to start a channel in 2019. That's 6 years ago. 6 years is a lot of years when you're my age, okay? I finally decided, you know, I'm just gonna pick up that camera and go for it. And at the very least, my children will have some memories of their parents, because my husband also makes videos. And that right there in and of itself is pretty cool. So nothing's wasted, nothing's for nothing. It smells really good over here. The grass has been freshly cut, it seems. We're coming up on some geese. I'm gonna turn the camera around. I don't see the babies out, so I guess maybe we're safe. There are a lot of babies right now. They're just not out right at this moment. I wonder where they all are. That's a good question. No idea. They're all resting nicely. Some disc golf people here. But part of that looks like up close. Another section of the disc golf. Cute little library. Cute little free library at the park. To warm up, I might have to ditch the sweatshirt pretty soon. I'm at 1.5 miles right now. Being so good to ourselves, getting our non-negotiables in, like walking. That's a real true form of self-care. You know, a lot of people have different ideas about what self-care is, but self-care, in my opinion, after going down the road I've been down, is truly doing what's best for you in the long run. Not what feels good right in the moment, but what's going to be good for you, your ultimate good, what you really want out of life and for yourself. And sometimes that means being uncomfortable in the short term to reap huge rewards in the long term. And that's what self-care is about to me. I used to be really good at self-comforting, and I thought of that as a form of self-care. My nervous system used to be so in overdrive that I would come home from work and just plop and like be unable to function other than the bare minimum. I would cook dinner, I would clean up, I would wash the dishes, I would make the bed, do the laundry, but that's it. I did not have anything spared for myself, for my health, for my body, for my mind, for my well-being, other than just decompressing. That was it. And of course, food. I think that food was some sort of a relief for me. It helped me to relax and just to overall feel nice in the moment. But honestly, it didn't really feel that nice, because when you overeat or even just eat low quality food, the kind that you would reach for in this kind of a situation, it just doesn't make you feel your best. But when you're in that, you don't realize it. I didn't realize how bad I felt because I was used to it. It's like a frog in boiling water. It's in the water, it's starting to get warm, it doesn't realize it's being boiled because it got acclimated to the temperature until it's too late. It kind of was like that. It wasn't until I really got a hold on my emotional eating and overeating that I could tell the difference. And once I got accustomed to hearing and actually having and hearing and understanding my hunger cues, and I took a program to do all this. Like, I've taken several programs. I've invested a pretty penny in figuring myself out. And it took me longer than it would probably take a lot of people, honestly. But I didn't give up. And that's what matters. So anyway, once I got accustomed to understanding my hunger cues, getting in sync with them, eating when only I'm hungry, stopping when I'm satisfied, not full, and got really good at that, boy, I felt an immense difference. No longer was I exhausted after eating or tired, or, my husband would sometimes want to do something after eating. I'm like, I just ate. I need to digest my food. You shouldn't feel like that. That shouldn't be a thing. Food should energize you, and you should be able to get up and go for a walk after a meal. And if not, then there's a problem. But I didn't know. I genuinely didn't know that. I was just in survival mode for so long, my whole life, really. But I'll tell you, the girls today that I see on social media lately, I've just started getting into that and watching that since I started my fitness journey just last year. Hasn't even quite been a year yet. It's been about 10 months. They are impressive. I am so proud of them. They're so much younger. They're in their 20s and 30s, and they've learned so much, and they know so much that I just was figuring out in midlife. The power of the internet and all the resources available today is just astounding, and I am just amazed by them and love them so much. And they inspire me. I listen to them. They inspire me so much. Doesn't matter if I'm 51. If you have a good message, you have a good message, and I'm here for it. Those girls are the ones that inspired me to kick up my walking a notch. I was walking about 7,000 steps. I have osteoarthritis. It's difficult for me. I would normally, typically, years past, go for a walk, whether it be usually 2 miles. And afterwards, I could barely walk. I would hobble up my stairs, pulling myself up the stairs with the railing, hobble all through the house, have to put my feet up in a recliner for a while, taking a leave. Not good for my kidneys. Still, sometimes I do have to take a leave, but nowhere near as bad or as much. And I'd hobble around the whole day like that. Sometimes multiple days, depending how hard I went. And it just dawned on me last year, because I just never wanted to go for a walk. Like why would you if you have to suffer afterwards? And it takes so long to recover. And it finally dawned on me, I'm going too hard. I don't need to push myself to that extent. I'm not like everybody else. Although there are a ton of people that are dealing with the same thing I'm dealing with. But I had to black out some of those voices, that say, if you're not going fast enough, if you're not working up a crazy sweat, if you're able to talk and walk, then you're not doing it right, and it's not going to be amounting to anything. That's nonsense. When I finally got to the point last year, I decided, I'm going to focus on distance, not speed. I'm going to go at a much slower rate. And guess what? I could walk 3 miles. And I was in pain. But I'm not pounding my joints into the ground, speed walking. I'm walking at a pace that my body can handle. My heart rate still gets to zone 2. Pretty much stays in zone 2. And I'm still benefiting. And as long as I eat correctly, in a slight calorie deficit, with enough protein, that's the main focus, is the protein and the calories for me. My body's gonna let go of the fat. That's how it works. You don't have to do HIIT workouts. I mean, if you can, that's wonderful. I used to do them when I was much younger. I also used to try to jog down the street, but while I was obese, which probably wore my knees out all the faster. I wouldn't recommend that if you're significantly overweight, but I didn't know that at the time. I learned the hard way. You don't have to go all crazy, get all intense. You just have to be consistent. And these girls inspired me to kick it up to 10,000 steps a day, which I've been doing. And sometimes up to 14,000 steps a day, depending how active my day is. See, I like to walk my 3 miles in the morning, get it out of the way. That right there is 7,500 steps already, before my day even really gets going. Then I have the whole day ahead of me if I go shopping or, helping all those extra things that get done on any given day just adds to the step count. So sometimes I get up to 14,000 steps that way. And at bare minimum, I'm getting 10. And I would have never probably pushed myself to increase my distance like that if I hadn't been watching these girls. So, I'm really glad, and I enjoy them, and I have a playlist in my YouTube, and I load it with all these videos of theirs that I find, and anything else that I find inspiring or that I'm interested in, and it keeps me company on my long walks, because generally I walk in my neighborhood the same route every day, just because I know the distance and it works for me, and it's close to home. Can knock it out and get back to my life, But today I came to the park because I wanted to see some different views. It's trash day in my neighborhood. Not really the nicest sounds and views going on there. So hopefully this is more pleasant. I'm gonna try to make this into a longer video instead of a short, I think, today. Found the babies, but they're big now. They're not that small anymore. I'm so proud of you. You are a strong woman. You are a strong, active, vibrant, healthy woman. Every day. Your body is fearfully and wonderfully made, and you're taking care of it. And that's amazing. And you're worth it. You deserve to be taken care of. If you don't take care of you, who will? You are a woman who takes exquisite care of yourself. Think of this. How do you want to feel today? Because we should really be curating our day for ourselves, not just letting it happen whichever way things go. We need to be intentional. Think of a word that you'd like to embody for the day, that you would like to sum up your day, that you would like to carry with you for the day. My word for today is going to be accomplished. I want to feel accomplished today. After this walk, I'm going to feel very accomplished for having done my walk. And that's one thing off my list for today. I want to keep high energy. So I'm going to eat a meal that's going to energize me after this so that I can keep the momentum going and continue feeling accomplished as I go through my day getting things done. Similar to picking a word for the year. I've done that for a handful or more of years now. And for a lot of years, my word was just nourished. I wanted to feel nourished. And it took me some time to figure out how to do that. You know, how to feel nourished throughout my day and life. Not just with the food I eat, but in everything. In the way I care for myself. In the way I give my mind the downtime it needs. In the way that I feed my mind by reading every day. Or whatever other things. It doesn't have to be these things, but whatever things matter to you to enrich your life and, you know, intentionally take yourself somewhere rather than just letting life happen. And it's a good feeling. I really like that word, and I still use it sometimes. But today, accomplished is what I'm going to feel and what I'm going to set out to make happen. How about you? What word did you pick? Okay, taking a peek at the garden beds. In the front, on either side, I have a jalapeno plant, parsley, Italian flat leaf in the middle. The second one's cages are tiny cherry tomatoes I started from seed myself from a store-bought organic package of cherry tomatoes. I was so offended by spending $7 on it. I said, I'm making plants out of these. And they worked. These next two are slicing tomatoes, and the two behind that are beefsteak tomatoes. Then over here in bed 2, got a little weed whacking done, but there's plenty of areas that haven't been done yet. However, this is bed 2. To the right there, that is rainbow carrots, and then we have 2 romaine lettuces, a little bit too close together. Don't know what I was thinking there, but nevertheless. And then that little pot, it's biodegradable. I just planted the whole thing. I kind of like tore up the bottom and then planted it intact in the ground and just water it over that. It'll disintegrate in time. Okay, and then I have down here 5 storing onions. 1, 2, 3, 4, Oh. Oh, I must have counted funny. Okay, 1, 2, that's 1, 3, 4, 5 storing onions, and then Danvers carrots. There's 1 there and 2 in there. And then I have the rest of the bed I need to buy some plants for. I have 3 other seedlings. 2 Nanticoke squash and an acorn squash, but they can't come in here. They take up so much room, they sprawl, they choke everything else out. I lost a lot of my crops last year due to those, although it was so fun. We're gonna try to grow them upwards on a like ladder type thing somewhere else out of here. My feverfew is out of control. We're gonna try to uproot that later and relocate it. I'm thinking to like that corner area in between the 2 fences there would be a good place. It's not beautiful, but it's important to have medicinal herbs, you know? And this comes back every year, so I would hate to kill it. Hopefully I don't. Hopefully it's hardy and it survives. And then our nod to Clyde and Bonnie. And I'm not sure. I think that's my yarrow. I had like 5 or 6 in here last year, and there's only 2 left. So I think that's my yarrow. The flowers look a little bit gray or silver-ish. So I'd like to relocate that as well. I don't know if that comes back every year. I need to look it up. It seems like it might. Okay, so I did a Google image search, and that herb was yarrow. So I've got my feverfew and yarrow surviving in there, and the chamomile, which I've relocated a lot outside of the fences. I don't mind it. It's not as pretty as, you know, zinnias might be, but I feel like it's so important to have medicinal herbs growing. I mean, I'd like to go plant them in the wild, to be quite frank with you. I think that would be amazing. The earth needs to have medicine ready for people, you know? So I have comfrey and German chamomile outside the fence, and hopefully yarrow and feverfew will be outside the fence. And then I can still have them, but they're not taking over my actual food garden space. So exciting. So I'm making a quick lunch. I'm just going to make a tuna salad sandwich. I had leftover tuna from the other day. I'm trying to think, should I make a whole sandwich or half? I might do half. Because it's kind of getting late. It's already 1 o'clock. We usually eat at early dinner. So why do I need a huge lunch? I don't. I cut this in half. Do that. Just love my bowl cover. I found that on Amazon. This girl that I followed, she's not really active anymore since she had her baby, but she used to make those, and they were really expensive, and I always wanted them. But I ended up finding that on Amazon. Nobody likes to eat tuna salad anymore, it seems like. I still love it. I grew up eating that. My kids didn't, though, so I get that it would be weird for them. I don't know. I just had some picky kids. Wasn't worth the battle, you know, sometimes. There. I think I'm gonna put some jalapenos on it. Really go nuts. Ooh. Jarred jalapenos, to specify. There's this place called Strum's Deli back in my hometown. When I go back to visit family, I like to stop there on the way. They have a really good deli chicken salad there. And they make subs. But there, we call them grinders. They're called grinders in New England. So, I really look forward to that next time I go down there. Pretty soon I'm going to be heading that way, actually. And then I'm going to have some dilly beans on the side. I love these. These are delicious. I need to try my hand at making them this year because they're really expensive. And there's no need for that if I can make them just as good. Okay. Take this, go eat, get some work done, and then we'll meet back and I'll show you how I'm planting my potatoes. One thing I wanted to share with you before I get going, I found a yellow dragon fruit for the first time ever. I've never seen one before. Usually I see the one that's like pink on the outside and white inside. These were so expensive. I got 2 of these for $13.98. Wait, is that right? $13.90. I realize this is probably backwards and you can't see it anyways. My bad. Anyway. Now, in today's day and age, with prices the way they are, I recognize this is quite a luxury. How is it we can afford to eat dragon fruit? I'm gonna show you how. We're gonna slice this bad boy up. I'll slice the end off. Oh, it's interesting inside. It's like gray inside. 1. See how many slices we can get. I feel like you can't see me now. I tried to put you up so you could see me, but now you can't see what I'm doing, so. 1 slice. 2 slices. 3. 4. 5. Okay. We have 5 beautiful slices. Let me just separate them a little bit. This is what they look like. And if we eat 1 slice every day, we're going to be living like queens. And we are queens. So that's my plan. Also, a kiwi. I'm going to cut off the ends. This is really crazy and wild, and it might really throw you for a loop, okay? It's new to me as well. I wash this very well. There is so many vitamins, nutrients, and antioxidants in the skin. Yes, I did say skin. You heard me right. I know that's real crazy. I would have never done this once upon a time. I've evolved to a point where I'm going to do it now. No one's going to eat any of this but me. So, not quite ripe. That was the crunchiest kiwi ever. Okay. Ooh. Just comes right off. Let's try it. I don't think I've ever had a dragon fruit this ripe. God is way too good to us. Amazing. I'm gonna go eat my crunchy kiwi now. But that's how we afford to eat dragon fruit. We're gonna have a nice slice with lunch every day. And really, that was the best few bites of dragon fruit I've ever had. Normally, like I said, I have the white ones with the red or pink on the outside. I have 2 of those as well. So I'll show you that one next time when I open that one. Okay, so I'm going to grow some potatoes in some grow bags. I have 5 10-gallon grow bags. I have a container of straw and a container of garden soil. And a container of potatoes that have been sitting in my house a very long time for this purpose. And thankfully, they're still good, even though I had to wait forever to get the supplies. So these look really interesting. They've got like purple on them, purple and green. And then this was from a different variety of, they're both russet potatoes, but this one looks so much different than these. And I'm gonna try to grow both. Oh, get back here. And you have to do this where you plan on leaving them because they're going to be too heavy to move once they're filled. Okay. Hey guys, I'm trying to get better about using gloves. I usually do first and think secondly, and that's my problem, and that's why I can't have nice things like nails last me very long. So I'm trying to do better. So there's the container, and here's my husband's gloves. These are nice because they're leather gloves. Okay. He'd be proud of me right now. Finally remembering, like Pippi Longstocking, finally remembering gloves. Yes. Let's do this. Okay, so we're gonna put some soil in to start. Oh gosh. Let's put some soil in. Need to open this straw bag. I didn't think of that. So, quick little correction. I'm going to fill this bag halfway with soil. And this is the last berry plant right here. So I'm gonna space it a little bit out from there so that they don't interfere with each other. This I'll need towards the end. So I'll move that out of the way for a moment. I'm gonna fill this 10-gallon bag halfway with soil. I think a little more. That might be halfway now. Maybe a little less. I'm gonna go with it. Now, I'm gonna plant. This one is a pretty small potato that has 3 eyes on it. So I'm gonna plant that with the eyes upward because the stems are gonna grow vertically straight up from these eyes, okay? Let's find another one. You know, I wasn't gonna cut these, but I might have to if we have eyes going in different directions. Let's see if I can find one. That's all, no. Okay, I'll go get a knife so I can cut that properly. I'm gonna have to add a garden knife to my list because it doesn't seem right bringing out a kitchen knife for gardening stuff. But for now, that's what we're gonna work with. We're gonna go with it. Okay. That's Oscar for trouble. Okay, there. Let's see what we got here. This one's beautiful. This one's so huge. It's got a lot of huge growth on this one. That'll be great. I'm gonna put maybe 5 of these in there. This has a couple eyes. They're not that big. I'm not gonna use that. This one, if I slice in half, this one has 2. That's pretty good. Size ones. 3 in there now. I'm gonna go with it. Why not? 4. Actually, I think I could do 6 in there. I don't even have enough potatoes to do what I thought I was doing with all these bags. Maybe we could do 2 bags. There's another one. Okay. Cut off some of this potato. We don't need all that. Okay. Cut off that. Okay. Let me show you what it's looking like. Okay. So this is what we're looking like. We have 6 potato pieces in there with The eye is sticking straight up. And then what I'm going to do now is cover this with straw. I realize I need to water this really well first. Get the soil good and wet. Plus I'm working with the wonky hose, so that doesn't help. Okay. I'm just gonna add a little bit more soil. Ooh, this is wet now. It's like handling a greased pig or something. There I go, without my gloves again. This is a hassle to put them on and off. Oh. Sorry, husband. I just don't have the patience. Okay, now I'm gonna top off with some straw. This is very fine straw. I'm kind of surprised. I thought it would be much hardier and not so broken up. This is weird. But hopefully it will do what it needs to do. It's very fine and very broken, almost like it's supposed to be bedding instead of gardening. I don't know. We just want to cover the potatoes from the sun so that they don't turn green. If they turn green, they're inedible. They become toxic. So once the greenery starts growing up, like to above here, I will put more straw to cover it. And then that's it. We'll just have to water it regularly. Don't forget to water. The soil seems a lot wetter down at the bottom of the bag. Okay, we need more than that, for sure. See, I don't even have enough soil to do more than 2 bags anyway. Okay. I still need a little more soil. I have 1 little bag, and that's all I have. More full than the last one, honestly. Let's cut this potato. This looks like a good piece to put in. This one looks good. There's 2 good ones here. Oh, this is really large. Okay, we got 6 in there. I guess we're not using this other one. Sorry, potato. Maybe we'll get to you next if you hold out long enough. Okay, bring a bit more of this. Doesn't really need too much soil above. It's the root system that needs to be fed by the soil. We just need to cover. I'm gonna go water once again. Get it soaking, really soaking well. Very well with the straw. Once again, handfuls of this stuff. Oh yeah. Oh, what a mess. That's okay. The next rain will take care of it. It is what it is. Okay. We got 2 going. When we get some more soil, we can and some more potatoes with eyes. We could do a couple more or not, depending how things go. I'll bring you over and show you what it looks like. There, 2 10-gallon growing bags full of potatoes and topped with straw. Here's a peek at my little honey girl in her rooftop house. She loves to hang out here and take her naps. She has her little routines she makes for herself during the day. It looks like I had given her a towel that I was going to throw out because it was really ready. And it's up here, but it looks like she has a t-shirt, and I don't know if she stole that or if my son gave that to her, but that's really funny to me. She's such a little sweetheart. I have Bunny TV on for her, which plays her like lullaby type music. I turned it down for this video so I don't get a copyright strike. But I just wanted to take a little peek at our girl. Hey, woo, what a day. I'm going to take a few minutes before I have to start making dinner and everything and read this cute little book. My son's reading about philosophers, and he was telling me about Epicurus. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, Epicurus. And it was really interesting. And I felt like I wanted to read about him. And I came along this book, The Fox and the Cornucopia. It's 36 lessons inspired by Epicurus on happiness, carpe diem, and the art of a life of freedom and pleasure. And I thought, that is so cute in my speed. You know, instead of getting into the hardcore, maybe I should step in cutesy like and get a good feel for it. And then read something more serious afterwards. I just love this. I know this is my style. It's going to be, you know, storytelling. And I like to learn little lessons through stories. I think I'm going to love this. What's not to love? A Fox and a Cornucopia. I mean, come on. There are books we open the way we might push open the shutters of a long-forgotten house, with a sense of curiosity touched by quiet thrill. This is one of those books. It offers no miracle method, no truth carved in stone. Instead, it invites you on a walk, free, joyful, and a little untamed, along the paths of Epicurean thought, where philosophy is lived far more than it is explained. You do not need to have studied Epicurus to step into these pages. It is enough to have, at least once, looked up at a star-filled sky and wondered what truly matters. This book is for those who, between 2 obligations, 2 subway stops, or 2 heartbeats, are searching for a way to feel fully alive. Epicurus, too, often reduced to the image of a pleasure seeker devoted to indulgence, was in truth a subtle thinker of inner freedom. He taught that happiness depends not on what we possess, but on what we can do without. That true pleasure is neither loud nor excessive, but calm, quiet, and profound. And that the greatest wealth lies in friendship, in simplicity, in peace of mind, what he called ataraxia. The stories you are about to read are tales. Some draw from Greek legends, others from forgotten proverbs, from anecdotes that time has not entirely erased. All have been reimagined with the intention of bringing Epicurus's teachings to life through vivid, accessible, and embodied narratives. You will encounter kings, fishermen, children, animals gifted with wisdom, steadfast trees, solitary poets, and men and women in search of meaning. Each tale is meant as an invitation, a pause, a small light within the thickness of everyday life. The aim is not to persuade, but to resonate, to offer an echo, perhaps even a quiet awakening. Wisdom, after all, is not passed on like a recipe, but recognized like a reflection. And if you are reading this book, it is likely that something within you will recognize itself here. Why the fox? Because it is cunning, free, untamed. Because it belongs to no one and has always wandered through fables as a knowing nod to our cleverness. And why the cornucopia? Because it symbolizes not excess, but generosity. It reminds us that when life is well lived, it overflows naturally. All that remains is for you to open this collection as you would a door into yourself. Take the time to read one story, then perhaps return to it later. Some reveal themselves at once, others unfold slowly like a fine wine or the words of a friend. There is no order, no obligation, only a quiet space where thought can become light again. Welcome to the garden of Epicurus. Epicurus, you are home here. I love it. I love it. It just speaks to me so much. Hopefully YouTube won't give me a hard time because it was just a preface that I read. But I don't know if you enjoy that or not. I'm trying to make a longer video today, and I enjoy longer videos myself. And after I watch them, I sometimes put them in my sleep playlist and just listen to them to go to sleep, and it works like a charm. So I have all these kind of things in mind when I'm making my videos. Okay, so for dinner tonight, we're doing sweet potatoes. I just sliced them, drizzled with avocado oil, salt and peppered. I'm gonna lay them on top of some parchment paper on a baking sheet. Get those in the oven. Then we have some fresh asparagus from the farm stored the other day. I'm just gonna break off the ends where they naturally wanna break. And then I'll wash these up real good and get them on a baking sheet and drizzle these with avocado oil and salt and pepper. Then I have 2 pounds of ground beef that also came from the farm store when we went the other day. And I'm going to fry that up in a frying pan with salt, pepper, onion, garlic towards the end. And we're gonna have one of those like dog food bowls or kibble bowls that people like to eat when they're on a fitness journey, because it hits all the nutrients, it hits all the macros. Only ours is a little elevated because, hello, asparagus. And I'll probably drizzle some sriracha over the top. When it's done, I'll give you a peek when we're done. Okay, so I've got the asparagus ready to go. I decided to drizzle some lemon juice over it. I think that'll be good. Normally, what would be really yummy that I like to do is Parmesan, but I don't have any right now. So we're gonna do lemon juice and salt and pepper instead. I think that'll be just fine. Now, what would look really pretty is if I just slice it. No, I didn't really slice it how I thought I was slicing it. Maybe. It's okay. We don't need to be perfect around here. Nor will we ever be. That's for certain. Got the asparagus ready to go. And the sweet potatoes. I'm going to put those in the oven now. And we'll brown up this ground beef. So I seasoned it with salt, pepper, onion, and powder, and garlic powder. Towards the end of the browning, we're getting there. We'll just listen to it sizzle for a moment. Ah, so satisfying. Look at that, just glistening and sizzling. Okay, here's the end result. I'm gonna drizzle with some sriracha and call it a night. I'm gonna go ahead and eat this up, and we got the yarrow dug up, and now we're digging up the valerian. Meanwhile, I am making a hole for the valerian here. I gotta make it bigger. And a hole for the yarrow here. Really digging deep, and it's still not loose. Lesson learned: do not grow medicinal plants inside raised beds or any garden bed. Now we know.
Yo, Dad.
There she is. me. Guys, what have I done? Look at all this muck. What have I done? What a real mess. I gotta go buy some grass seed tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm utterly exhausted. I just gotta clean up and unwind. Calm my system down for the night and maybe make a nice peppermint tea. See you in the next one.